were doing our live stream announcing it, he called me out of the blue. Saying,
No way.
Yeah, that was the night that he announced it. You must have heard about it on Twitter. So I get a message from someone saying they're Mark Price going, I hear you're doing Trick or Treat. I want in. And I'm like, yeah, right. And I said, here's my number, call me. And he called me, oh my God, it's fucking Mark Price. And we hung up the call, but we're still with each other. And I put him on speaker. I'm like, it's fucking him. And he wants to do it.
I didn't even know I timed it that good.
You did. It was the night we announced it because it blew up. Once we announced it, all of a sudden we had like 800 more followers, and everyone's like, when are you going to talk about it again? I'm like, when we're ready to. There's nothing to talk about. We announced it. We're working on it.
So they run this podcast, and they knew that we were going to do this today, so they set this up to be recorded for the. Oh,
and we're not recording it. No, we're not recording it.
It's going to make me do this all over again for a podcast.
We're not fancy.
Couldn't have pressed record on this?
I don't think so.
Okay, here we go.
We'll just make you come on.
The man who made this whole thing happen, you guys know
Joe,
Yes.
does anybody know this is the man?
Hi, Joe.
Hi guys. Thanks for coming out.
If you don't know, this is Joe.
This would not be happening if it wasn't for him.
We can sit down, Mark.
Okay. I'm a stand-up, what can I say?
Okay.
I'm in my 50s. All right, 57. I've never been married. I don't have kids. So when you're in your 50s and you've never been married, you're still single and you don't have any kids, sometimes people just assume that I'm smart. That'd be the opening. Any questions for me? I was 17 when we made the movie. Go ahead.
If it's got to be just one question, where did the nickname within the movie Ragman come from?
I have no idea. That is a very good question.
It was in the script.
He says it. No, the bad guy says it. Tim, he goes, "Hey, Rad Man."
Well, that's your nickname because it's on your license plate.
It's on my license plate, so I like the name.
You like the name. I don't
I don't know
know
where
if
we
you
got it
came up
from.
with it, but funny.
I had that license plate for a long time, but
Did you really?
I lost it.
Funny anecdote: when we started working on the Blu-ray, we got the original script, the first draft of it, and I was like, oh, I want to see what did they change, because you always know in the Hollywood industry, first draft is never what they end up shooting. And I'm reading the script and I see the name of the rock star come up, and it's not.
It wasn't Sammy.
It wasn't Sammy Kerr. It was Chili Willy.
Chili Willy.
And I froze and I went, the fuck? And so I keep reading and I just keep seeing them saying Chili Willy, and I'm like, I called Felser and I'm like, so I'm reading the script and I'm Chili Willy, and he goes, yeah. I'm like, whoever changed that needs a hug.
Oh, well, they knew they needed to change it right away, and they had all these other options. At one point, we were getting lists and stuff with different names, and they were looking up what things mean different things, and what people call Satan, and blah, 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 and other stuff.
Yeah.
And ended up, they settled on Sammy Kerr.
It's perfect too. It sounds like the name of a rock star, Sammy Kerr.
The first script written, the original script, if that's the one you read, the original one, it was written by a college student, just one guy. The producers came in and redid everything. And the name is on the written by credit. It often happens in Hollywood. But the original guy, and they were great, by the way, no doubt on them, they were awesome. But the original writer was out of college, and he submitted the script, and it was very timely, and it was very funny. The script was funnier than the movie, and potentially scarier than the movie. I thought the original script
It was gorier.
was
Definitely
funnier
gorier.
and scarier, and they ended up with something that was a little more milquetoast.
It's not a gory film at all, really.
No, it's really not scary at all. And it's not
more fun.
hysterically funny, really. It's not.
Well, some of it's
As a comedian, I'll tell you, it's not that funny.
The chase scene is really funny when the guy slides, goes down the stairs. Well, that's funny.
That was a good stunt. We had good stunt people. All the movies have good stunt people, though. The stunt people in Hollywood are awesome. And they're always the most fun on the set.
I do have to say, though, some of those bullies have like 750 credit scores. They were not teenagers. There's one guy, I looked at him and I'm like, that's someone's father. That dude is old enough to be someone's father at this high school. He's either stayed back a few years or they just didn't care, but that's okay.
In those days, yeah. In all the Porky's movies and stuff, there's always some 40-year-old in the mix.
Yeah, no one blinked an eye. You had a question?
Hairline, way back.
It's kind of a compound question. Like, what was it like working with Ozzy and Gene Simmons? Like, who maybe spent more time like talking with people?
Well, you know the answer to that, right? Ozzy was a warm, sweet guy. Gene was a little aloof. But Gene wore the sunglasses. I remember he was reading the script. Like, if you see him wearing the sunglasses in the movie, he's actually reading the lines from the script. He wasn't as into it. Ozzy was really into it. Ozzy was really into it and met everybody, and he had his kids with him. And it was our first glimpse that Ozzy wasn't the demon of darkness that everybody thought he was at that moment in time. I felt like I caught this like sneak peek, and then when the Osbournes reality show came out, everybody knew, oh, okay, here's how it goes. But we got a little peek back then. Yeah. Go ahead.
So you said you're 17, you made the film, obviously you're in high school. How close, was the depiction of the character there to yourself in your own high school?
Well, I was 17, but I dropped out of high school. I was already...
You were already listening to rock and roll pretty much.
Well, yeah, I was definitely listening, but everybody in high school was listening to rock and roll too, so that wasn't the original part of it. The original part of it was not going to school. How many people would do that if you could when you were 15, 16? Come on!
No,
There's kids here. I'm not a very good... That's not... Max, don't do that. Don't do like me. Because I dropped out. But I did go to school on the set.
Hey, that counts for something.
We had these little pads. When you'd go to school on the set teacher would write you a thing and sign it, date it, rip it off your hand. And you'd come into school and you'd give that to the office. And they'd be like, okay, you were gone for 2 weeks or whatever. You were shooting a movie, it's okay. But yeah, okay, thank you. And I stole a pad of those. And never went to school again, basically. I'd show up at the end of the year, here you go, okay. And they never knew, because Family Ties, I would do like 12 weeks a year on Family Ties, but they didn't know how it worked. I was a guy on a TV show, they didn't know. So. Anyway.
Some great life advice.
I don't have any of those left.
He
though.
used all of them.
I was 17, I think it was my second movie. I think the first movie I did when I was 15, called The Zoo Gang. And yeah, I have some movies that nobody ever saw. Little Devils, The Birth, Killer Tomatoes Eat France.
Hey, I've seen Killer Tomatoes Eat France.
I've got a really bad film festival.
I think Killer Tomatoes Eat France was the first one I saw.
There's The Rescue with Kevin Dillon from Entourage, and we play teenagers that stage a full-scale military operation and rescue our Navy SEAL parents from communist North Korea.
I think I've seen that.
That's actually probably one of the best ones I ever was in, because it had a huge budget. It had like $14 million budget. This had like a $2.5 million budget by comparison.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
All right.
Well, come on, let's go. We can.
No, stop it, what got you interested in doing this movie? Was the fact of just...
I wanted the movie bad. I just wanted to be in a movie. And Michael J. Fox was in movies, and he played a rock guy. And I think we'll have to check and see if my memory is correct about this. But the Light of Day, was that what it was called?
That was one, yeah. But also Back to the Future.
I know that.
Too,
I know
so.
that. But that's this was
Just making sure we're on the same page here. Light
Back
of
to
Day,
the
I think
Future
it's
would have
right.
been before. Back to the Future was right around the same time. I think.
85, yeah.
Yeah. We did 86 was Trick or Treat.
Yeah.
And so, anyway. But I wanted to be like him. He was making movies. I dressed up like the character. I gave the director as Charlie Martin Smith, the actor. So he's been in things like The Untouchables, and famously he's in American Graffiti. He plays Toad. I don't know if anybody remembers that movie all those years ago, American Graffiti. But Toad is like a nerdy guy, and he and I had that in common. We're both like nerdy guys. He didn't give the part to Keanu Reeves. He gave it to me, And we had a kinship.
Yeah, Charlie was really cool when we interviewed him. He was very excited that this was getting a resurgence, because it was a movie that I think he really wanted to be a franchise. Because in the 80s with horror, if you made a movie that hit, we were on Nightmare on Elm Street 2 at this point, Friday the 13th, 6. This microphone doesn't love me. So everybody was looking for that next hit that was going to spiral out 9 other movies that you could just guarantee box office dollars. So I think that was something he was hoping for with this. And the biggest disappointment I have with this movie is that we didn't get another one, because I love the character Sammy Curry and Tony Field so much that I wanted to see more of him.
More Sammy.
More Sammy. And when we found the music video, maybe this one will like you more. When we found, I don't want them both. when we found the music video for After Midnight, Sony sent it to us, and it was like watching a 4-minute sequel because he's playing Sammy in the video, singing the song. So you get to see him, no burn makeup, just being Sammy Kerr singing the song.
Let's face it, if they had done a sequel, I wouldn't have been it.
Yeah, they would have brought you back.
Nah, they
Would have been as good.
would have been Sam. And we do miss Tony, and he was awesome. Very powerful, very kept it on the set. So we did, because everybody was partying with everybody. I started by saying, I went partying with all these people. We had parties every night. It was always crazy. We were at the beach, at Wrightsville Beach in Wilmington, North Carolina. We was at the beach, and everything was so much fun. And he didn't want me and him to just become buddies. He wanted me to stay scared of him. So he kind of, I forget when we discussed it, but at some point it was just clear that we weren't going to be like hanging out buddy. We kept it a little bit separate like that. But we had some, rehearsals together and stuff. He was good at what he did. Really physically, unbelievably powerful. Does everybody know he was a solid gold dancer? And he was in the movie, in the video Bad with Michael Jackson.
He's a Beat It too.
He's like, yeah, he's a great dancer.
He's a Thriller.
He's in a lot. Yeah, he's in Thriller, right? He's in a lot of the Michael Jackson.
We actually found out what zombie he was in Thriller. We narrowed it down. We figured out which one he was.
Oh, I've seen it.
Yeah, we screenshot.
Was that, you did it.
I did it. Yeah, because I was like, all right, he's in the video. No one knows because in the Trick or Treat group on Facebook, everyone's trying to figure out which one he is. And I'm like, that dude. They pointed him. I'm like, that dude's clearly African American. That's not Tony Fields. So in the making of, you see him. And you see where he's kind of placed. So I looked at the video. I'm like, that has to be him. It's the same height.
Oh, you
the
nailed it.
hair's
You
the
nailed
same.
it.
And
I could tell.
the only thing is he's got teeth in, so you can't really tell. But I'm like, that he's the only other white guy there. That has to be him.
Oh, you could
And
tell.
it was him. So we got confirmation from his relatives that was him. I was like, oh, sweet.
Now we have to find.
Yeah, now you gotta watch the Thriller.
He's right over MJ's shoulder. He's got gray hair. He's very tall, very animated. Once you figure out who he is, you're gonna be like, yep, that's him.
Solid gold. You don't remember Solid?
Yes, I do.
So.
He was a solid gold dancer, and that's one of the things about this. When I first saw the movie, he's a heavy metal artist, and he's spinning around doing black belts. But what fucking heavy metal artist in the '80s was doing this? But it was wonderful because like, it works. It's so great for the character, and he's totally into it.
Yeah, I guess David Lee Roth. The only one.
Yeah. I was also a little confused by the notion that Sammy wants to kill his fans. You'd think he'd be like, yeah, these guys like me. Why does he want them all dead? But he's kind of an asshole. Yeah, it's like, all right, well. Anybody else have any other questions? All right, because if you don't, I got to come up with them. Keep going. No one's stopping you.
After you film the movie, we're all said and done. Over the years, have you stayed in contact with any of the other actors or people that you worked with on the movie?
The guy who plays my buddy Glenn. Oh, his real name is Glenn. Sorry. What's the name of the movie? My friend.
Roger.
He's became a massive, successful producer and was one of the top people behind X-Files. And yeah, he became. He was like I don't know. People go through waves in Hollywood. I know, and then all of a sudden you're not. I don't know if he's working now, but he did so well. He might still be going. I don't know. I have to check. So we were in touch for a long time. We were good friends for a while. But I've really lost touch with almost everybody. Charlie Martin Smith and I reunited not all that long ago. He became the lead director for animal movies. So if there's a dog that finds its way home, or a whale with a broken tail, or something, and or the dog that plays basketball, it's him.
Everybody.
Wow.
They go to him for any movie with an animal in it. It's this niche. So that's cool.
Yeah,
They know he's going to take good care of the animal.
Yeah, Glenn came out to interview for us too. Glenn also directed. He directed the remake of Willard.
Did not know that. With Crispin Glover.
Yes,
Wow.
and the 2006 remake of Black
You
Christmas.
guys know Crispin Glover from Back to the Future? He plays the dad in Back to the Future. I was 14 years old, and I went to acting school, and a friend of my dad was Crispin Glover's dad. And so he suggested I go to this acting school. He said, my son will look out for him. It was teen acting school. I was the youngest one there. And so Crispin Glover took me under his wing and took me to go see Clockwork Orange and Brazil. If you haven't seen Brazil, what an amazing movie. And I wanted to be him, so anything, if he liked Devo, I liked Devo. If he went to a store to buy pants, I went to that store to buy the same pants. And that was an early inspiration for me. Crispin and I have kept in touch over the years. You know, he's not in Back to the Future 2 and 3. Does everybody know that story? They left him out. They didn't want to, from what I hear, didn't want to pay him what would have been a very fair $1 billion, $500,000 each for 2 and 3. They knew they were making 2 and 3 together. They made them at the same time. And he was such a big part of 1. Asking for $500,000 each was not a big deal. It really wasn't. They should have just gone yes. But they didn't, and they didn't kill him off, but what they did was they used another actor, and they kind of disguised him. They had him upside down at one point, and then they had some face makeup for the aging in the first movie, and they used that face makeup on the other actor. I happen to know the other actor too. They're both good friends, which is really weird because it's a big fight. And they were sued. Crispin was able to sue them because they used his likeness, they used his face using the makeup. And that's no longer allowed. He won a big settlement. And everyone knows in Hollywood now you can't use the actual makeup and the face of another actor. They own the character, but they don't own his face.
Wow. He was also in, President Club was also in Friday 4.
Yeah, Friday the 13th, part 4.
I didn't know that.
He's the guy that gets the hatchet.
Huh.
Where's the
He
corkscrew?
hit her in the face.
Yeah, where's the corkscrew?
Where's the cork crew?
Crazy talented.
He has
Crazy.
he has a dance scene in that movie too that he came up with on his own on the spot. It was all improv, and it's the wildest thing you've ever seen. He just flails around the room.
They said that's how he used to really dance in New York.
Yeah,
Nightclubs. So
yeah.
They said he wasn't acting, that was just what he used to do.
Yes.
I guess when they-
They said, do that thing.
I guess when they shot it, all the crew were like, when it was over, what the fuck was that? But they were like, oh, it works. Yeah. So yeah, who did anyone come in and watch the movie for the first time today? A few of you. Wow. Okay. So what did you guys think?
How did I miss it? Like, how did I not see it in my 40 years of watching horror films? How I missed it? It must have come out at a time that there was other things that I missed it. You
A
mentioned,
lot of people miss it. Don't
you
worry.
mentioned there was, some other franchises at the time, Friday the 13th,
This
Nightmare
was
on Elm
supposed to
Street.
be Pumpkinhead. They had the choice of doing Pumpkinhead or this. That's what we heard. They chose this.
But
And the Pumpkinhead got made later by somebody else.
But I mean, to be honest with you, it was very satisfying. It brought me right back to the nostalgia of the 80s and 90s, the classrooms, what everything looks like, how school was, how society was, everything. I thought it was a really nice film. Both blend of good comedy,
The
horror.
ultimate 80s time capsule is Family Ties. If you ever watch that again, you'll see everything 80s.
Oh, yeah.
In that show.
But really just, as like a good, some movies are too comedic, some movies they try to make, this was a good blend of the both, and it went in together. It didn't get too campy, but neither did it get too serious.
How about you? This is your first time?
Yeah, I thought it was great. It's actually one that I've wanted to see for a while. I've just, for whatever reason, I never did. I never was able to get my hands on it. And then when I saw they were doing this screening, I was like, hey, we got to go check this out. And it was definitely worth it.
Yeah.
You raised your hand too, right?
Yeah, that was
We're gonna go down the line here.
That was the first time seeing it, so yeah, I thought it was really good. It was
I
a
wasn't
really
there, but that's
thoroughly
Halloween.
enjoyed movie. Yeah.
They did a screening of the movie in that same place.
the gym.
In the gym.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
There's a
awesome.
guy who goes around the country doing screenings of movies where they took place. That's
That
his
is
thing.
awesome.
That's really good. That's really good.
And it actually works for him. He does well. Yeah.
I think you've just seen it today, right?
Yeah, this is also my first time watching Trick or Treat. I really enjoyed it. I love anything to do with the 80s, even though I wasn't born in the 80s. I love anything that's like a time capsule.
Well, now I'm in my 80s.
But I also liked how, like, similar to like your character Ragman, like for me, like when I was in high school, like music was definitely like a coping mechanism for me to get through like
The release. That's what everybody loves. Right?
I have a friend who, one of the co-hosts on the podcast, who said that horror movies are a great release for us because we exercise our demons by watching scary shit, and that's what helps us kind of get through our crap. So people who don't like horror movies are actually more mean than we are because we have a nice, safe way to get rid of when we're pissed off. We just
Yes.
watch a horror movie, and it works itself out. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of true. I definitely thrown something on when I'm not in a great mood and felt a little better afterwards. So why not? But this movie, I didn't see it. I saw it on DVD, and that awful DVD cover with Gene Simmons and Ozzy Osbourne plastered on the front. I avoided it for years because of that cover. And a friend of mine's like, no, the movie's from the 80s. I'm like, but those pictures are from now. This is like some cheap 2000s movie. I don't want to see that. He's like, no, it's from the 80s. You're going to love it. So I finally caved and bought the DVD, and I'm like, these motherfuckers, I almost didn't see this great movie because of that shitty cover art.
I wonder how many people bought it though and went, hey, this isn't a movie with
They
us.
probably had the opposite effect. So when we were putting out the Blu-ray, people were jokingly saying, use that cover
Oh, that
art.
would have been funny as well.
And we were just kind of like, at one point, it was on the table, and I said, if you people do this, I'm quitting. I'm like, I'm never going to work with you again. And then they were gonna put it out as a gag, but then they opted not to do it. So I said, yeah, it's probably.
I actually have that one.
It's terrible.
Well, they have,
Yeah, that's what I said, so now we got this one.
Yeah, look at that.
And not knowing that a few weeks later, we have it on, so you just got it. I just got this one, right? I had the other one forever.
the other one sucks, the cover.
The cover's terrible, but I was honestly gonna bring it here.
So those were limited. Those are gone.
Okay.
But you can still get the standard edition. So there's a 4K and a Blu-ray with the original poster art on the front.
They have
But
it on this, the lady has.
yeah, there's a
Yeah, there's 2 or 3 of them.
yeah that set we put out. We were delayed a few times because we were trying to get Ozzy Osbourne to be interviewed, and his agent was like, "Yep, he's ready. He wants to do it," and we just kept pushing it back, and people were getting mad at us. We were getting hate mail, like, "When the fuck is this coming out? We're tired of waiting," because it took 2 years.
I just found out why. But it was just like waiting to try to get us.
So we finally got to talk to Ozzy, and he was very candid and said, "Look, I don't remember a lot. So if this is holding this up, I'm sorry. I just can't commit right now. Just move forward." And we did, and then we got it ready. It was in the warehouse. We were going to put it in pre-order, but said, "Let's just put it out. Let's just put it up for order right now." We crashed 3 websites simultaneously. All 3 of them went down for orders, and the people were waiting hours to get it. And we were getting hate mail for that too. It's like, we can't order it. It's like, well, that's not our fault. Like, we just put it out there. Once you can order it, you'll get it. And yeah, they all sold out. And that one sold out first. That's cover C. A was right after. Then B took a week. But once B was the only option, that one went away too. So, but then we put out the standard editions. Still
So
got it.
why were there 3 ABCs?
We just wanted to do 3 covers. It was something we thought was
Did
cool.
I share the story about Ozzy and the kid that wanted to see his concert to the group? Did I tell the whole group?
No.
So he wanted to see the show, but his doctor said he can't go. And I got wind of it. A relative contacted me, and it was in Michigan. And so I called Sharon. I had her number in England, and I left a message. Actually, got the number. I didn't have it. I got the number from the producer of Trick or Treat, and because I told him the story. So he gave me the number of Sharon in England. I called and I left a message. Here's the kid's address. Can you send a headshot? He wants to come to the show. He's too sick, and the doctor. They showed up at his house in the limo before the concert, just to give you an idea of how charitable they were. And that stayed with me all these years. That was such a great move. Probably,
Yeah.
made the kid's life.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone who worked with Ozzy, Charlie, everyone had great stories. They said he was the most humble, nicest guy. They had no issues with him whatsoever, which was the polar opposite of Gene Simmons, who apparently was just not very pleasant to
A
deal
little
with.
more aloof.
You're being, I don't need to be diplomatic about it because I don't know the guy, but apparently from what we gathered, there weren't a lot of fans of Gene Simmons when the shoot wrapped. He came and did the job. I mean, he wasn't like a diva about showing up and working. They all said that he was a consummate professional. He showed up, he did a great job, but he did not make friends. He pretty much came and walked out the door as soon as we told him he was done.
Sunglasses, and then
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
read the script.
No, we did.
He read the script.
Because he didn't want to do the movie. They wanted him to play Sammy's character, and he told his agent, "I don't want to do this. That's garbage." But his agent,
it was called Chili Willy.
well, yeah, that's true.
First he said no.
His agent got confused, or this is the story he told, and put it in the wrong pile. And he ended up doing the movie. But when he got hired, he said, "Well, I don't want to do this role. I want to do the DJ and like play Wolfman Jack." But what blows me away is he thought this was a bad script. But then he goes and does Never Too Young to Die, where he plays a transvestite, half man, half woman, with John Stamos being like bitten on the boob, and like he's awful and the script's terrible. And I'm like, this one you thought was the winner.
Now everybody's
but
going to check out that movie.
but Trick or Treat was the bad script. It's like, it's not the transvestite thing that's a problem. It's just that he's like, the script was terrible. It was a terrible movie. It's just really just a terrible B action movie. And John Stamos is not an action hero. And he doesn't play one either. So it's just like, that one you said yes to? Okay. They came out the same year.
Probably ended up for the best because it was Gene Simmons. We all love him.
That's what
That's what I'll get down on Gene Simmons now. Come on, Kiss is awesome.
I'm a fan, but
He's a rock star.
Yeah. Another guy
He's
who
allowed
was,
to not care about a little horror movie he's coming to do for 2 days. Imagine how much stuff that guy's done in his life. This was just
another actor that was up to the role too was the lead singer of Wasp.
I heard that too.
Yeah, he was gonna do, but he didn't want to lip sync. So I don't know why they didn't say, okay, fine, we'll let you sing, because I mean.
Because it was Fastway already had to deal with the sound.
Oh, then see, he knows.
And he didn't want to lip sync to Fastway. I get that.
No, I get that too. That makes total sense. I don't know if he would have. I mean, he would have had the idea of the role down for sure. But
Ready, Fed? Well, it was good. Fastway made the movie. There's nothing better than the soundtrack in the movie.
well, you're pretty good at it.
Fastway.
So I know you already touched on it, but like, how close when you were in high school, I mean, Gary's kind of asked, but to the
I
actual.
go to high school.
No, in that day, right, because I'm about the same age as you, and we discovered metal or whatever, a lot of us dressed like that, and it was kind of like, freedom for us, like a way for us to just be ourselves, and, like, how close were you to that character?
I'm telling you, I had actual freedom. I wasn't living with my parents.
Did you dress like that? Did you act like that?
For the movie, totally. I mean, that was when I started. I didn't even know heavy metal or anything. But for the movie, I got into it. I wore the clothes. I remember showing up for the audition and I had the same outfit. I wore it all week and stuff. And I made a tape, an opening monologue. Mrs. Ragman, whatever, blah, 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 your friend forever. And I made that on a cassette tape and left it for the director.
There's a lot of metalheads back then. Not everybody was into metal, so the character that you had was pretty realistic. A lot of metalheads kind of got pushed to the side.
And that's a weave. They weaved into my hair, but my hair.
You weren't really a mullet man.
They weaved me a mullet.
Oh, I gotta go in therapy now. I thought it was real.
But now I'm growing it out.
You should redo it.
Yeah, that's one of the things people connect with on this movie is that character Eddie was, he is sort of an outcast in a lot of ways. I mean, everyone has this assumption that the entire school is picking up, but no, it's just this one group of douchebags. Like the entire school just doesn't know he exists. That's sort of the issue. Is like to them, he's not a problem because he doesn't exist, but to the bullies, the actual jocks and the whatever, they're the ones who go after him. Everyone, because the concerts, everyone's like, well, why is everyone all of a sudden into metal? They all hated this kid. Like, no. The guys who hated it are by the bleachers being pissed off that it's happening. Everyone else is into it. They just don't care about Eddie because Eddie to them doesn't exist. Like that's more relatable than like the entire school being against him, and because that's how it was in high school. You didn't have, hopefully none of you had, the entire school wanted you out and hated you. You had a specific group possibly.
Bullies.
Yeah, that gave you shit.
Preppies.
And
It was a very realistic part.
yeah, that's
very true to that time.
that's what I appreciate about this movie.
Yeah, people can relate to it. A lot
I
of
lived
movie,
through that.
a lot of movie heroes are more like superheroes. Everything goes
Yeah.
right for them, and they win all the time. And then that's not real.
Anybody have any other questions for Mark?
It's a pleasure meeting everybody.
All right, we're going to be at his table, so come say hi if you haven't already.
Thank you.
And for those of you that just saw the movie, you can, come talk to him some more about the movie.
New one's coming out called Witchy Ways.
Witchy Ways?
And I play a supporting role, but it's my first time acting in many years. And it's a horror movie. And, so this was very 80s, right? And I get attacked by a heavy metal star who comes back from the dead. And that was of the 80s, right? Now, I get attacked by a transvestite ghost.
This is gonna be good.
All right, gotta stick with the times.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.